Hey guys, this is just a quick tutorial on how to change your synchronized belt on your Walkera V450D03. Now first of all, you'll see this is a bit all over the place and I've got a cyclic servo out, but don't take any notice of that. Anyway, we'll get on with what we've got to do here. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to take tail boom out as an assembly, and the belt and the gear that is actually inside here, it all come out as one assembly. As you see on the top of this here, I've just actually tagged these wires that actually go into here for your elevator, airline pit and everything like that. That's just so I can pull them straight out of the receiver. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that right now. Pull them all out. Okay. As you notice, my receiver's on back to front too, so that's just the cyclic servos that I've got in there are different, so I've had to turn it around, but yours will be facing the other way. So just make sure that you tag your wires, just so you know where they go back in, because you'll, on the standard one, they'll be all that colour, I think. So and also with your wiring and everything like that, if you've got any zip ties or anything on there, just go ahead and cut all them off. Cut this one off here. Okay, don't cut the wires, just be careful with your snips. Okay, and you can pull, just be careful if your tags you put on, you just don't want to pull them off inside there. Those wires are okay, they don't need to come out. And then you've got your tail servo wire left, so we'll pull him out through that hole there. If I can get my fingers through there and pull him out. Alright, now turn this around. I've just got the blades off this too, just to make it a little easier to see. Got another zip tie here I'll cut off. It's just for my receiver on there, because we'll need to take all that off. So basically now, if yours looks like that, your wire, that servo and everything can stay on there. Okay. So what we'll do now, continue, we'll go to the back of the helicopter tail here, and we'll take that screw out and the same one on the other side. Okay, so there's just two there, so we will remove those two. So there we go. Okay, so there it basically looks like so. So now we'll take this one out, this one out, this one out, that one and same on the other side. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then the tail is ready to slide out of this encased area here. And we'll go ahead and do that. So I'll take these out, and then once that one's out, we'll turn the helicopter around and take the other side out. Okay, so it's this one. So in total you should have 10 screws. Hold this tail box section in here. Alright, so got the last screw out here now. So that basically now is ready to slide out. Okay, so all you do is just grab the tail and pull it out. Here you have your whole boom tail belt set up, one off the helicopter. So it's all easy. There's no need to remove servos, and that's how it's done. Okay, so this pulley here, it actually turns this way. Okay, so if you're holding all this like so, come back to here, this pulley actually turns that way. Okay, and if you look at the rear of the tail, I keep it rotating that way, you'll see that the blades turn that way. Okay, the next thing to do is we'll take this tail fin off. So we'll go ahead, take that off. Okay, as you can see, the tail's off now. Tail fin, I should say. So what we'll do now, we'll go ahead and we'll actually take these screws out here. So these four here, take these four screws out. It's probably a good idea when you're taking it apart, just to hold it there together with your fingers, so it doesn't all fall apart on the bench on you. So there we go, all the screws are out. Still holds together. You've still got belt tension on it, but don't worry about that. Okay, so now we'll just pull this one side off, which is the opposite to where this link is actually still joined up, because I've still got my servo arm and everything joined up. This little roller, remove it. Okay, and there's your belt set up in there. Okay, so now what we can do, it's quite easy to do. Okay, your belt's still got tension and everything on it, so just pop it off the other side and slip your belt off. You can just unclip that there. Okay, so I've just taken the ball rod link off. Okay, and there's the belt hanging at the back. Now to this end. Alright, so what we'll do now is we'll take the top plate off, and these are the two screws at the top. We'll take them off the top plate. Okay, so there we go, put them off. I'll just put them over there out of the way. Okay, so that's just a little piece that comes off through here. Okay, and that will just lift off. Just give it a bit of a wiggle back and forth. Okay, got your bearing in the top plate there. Mine's a bit dirty. I always use a little bit of oil, a few drops of oil on it, just to keep them lubricated. Okay, and now you've got your belt, and this little gear here just pulls up out of the bottom bearing, and out it comes. Okay, and then as you can see how my belt is in there, it's like that, and at the back it is like that. That's just how I've pulled it off. Okay, and then you can actually just slide your belt out. Okay, and there it is. Okay, as you can see that this belt was damaged. You can see the missing teeth, and that's in a few sections over this belt anyway, so we'll get that one out of the way so I don't actually put it back into the tail. A bad mistake to be made. And this is the new belt. The new belt that you'll have in your hot little hand to put back into the tail of the helicopter. Alright, so if you want to, you can replace these bearings. I'd probably advise to replace these bearings. That one there, and also the one on the top plate that actually sits on top of there. This little fella up here. Okay, they just push out, and you just push the new ones back in. Alright, and also this little gear that goes in here too. If you change the belt, it's probably just a good idea to change this assembly too. Okay, so you've got the old one, so when you get new parts, just copy the old one, and it shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. Alright, and also with your tail, I'll just put them together at the moment, just to hold them together. There's a bearing inside there. It's fairly dirty, like I say, and also once you pull this apart, pull your little grub screw out, just pull straight out that way. Alright, and you replace that bearing in there too, so it's quite easy. You don't have to worry about disassembling any of the tail slider or anything like that. That can just stay together as one unit. And there's that one half, and there's that one half. We'll leave there. Righto, we'll go back to this new belt. Like I said, make sure you got the right belt. Don't crimp the belts. Okay, so if this little thing can stay in my hand, probably that much crimp on a belt. That's all you put into it. Don't overdo it. Don't squash it right down to try and jam it into the tail, because if it doesn't fit the way I'm going to show you, and it jams up in there, well, you've probably got too many twists in it, or it's bunching up in there, and you will never get it straight. Okay, so I'm basically just holding this belt like straight, with no twists in it. Okay, just by itself. So when you get it, the belt like so, grab your tail unit, just slide it into your shaft. Okay, just holding your belt teeth together. Okay, this makes it a little bit easier to push in without twisting it, holding it straight. Okay, just makes it go in a lot easier. together. Nearly at the end of the belt there now. Okay, so right about now the belt should be coming out the back. Okay, and there it is at the back. So it's come straight out like that, nice and straight, no twists in the belt yet at all. Okay, so you leave the same amount out the front as you do out the back. Okay, now if you can look down it, you might not see down it, but that belt's got no twists in it. Okay, so what we'll do, you just grab your fingers and just hold it there, just so you don't pull the belt out. Grab the front one, okay, and turn it that way. Okay, just to show you that again, grab the belt, twist it that way. Okay, so now that one looks like that, and just let go of the back one, and that back one looks like that. Okay, so you've actually, this one here, you've actually twisted the belt towards you, if you can understand that. Okay, now your new gear and everything you've got on here, your new aluminium drive piece for your belt, I'm just going to use my old one because it's fine. If you think yours is fine, well that's fine too. Into your lower bearing. Okay, make sure you don't twist that. Now the other end of the belt, you can just grab a little bit, and see how I've got a bit of air gap there. You can just pull it just so it touches, just for now. Okay, without twisting the other end. Alright, now top plate, same thing, bearing in there. If you want to replace that, you can. Well, go ahead and do it, I advise it. And then all you have to do is put this back on. Okay, line that up and push it into spot. Okay, alright, tail's still the same, and we'll go ahead now and we'll put the two screws in there and there. Okay, remember they're only the little short ones we pulled out of there. There's two of them. Just be careful, these ones don't have actually a point, don't have a point on the screw. Okay, they're just a flat end screw that go in there. So just nip them up firm. Okay, and there you go, you've got your first section done. Okay, with all your new parts, your bearings and your drive in there. So okay, time to go to the tail. Now, as you notice on your tail, we'll have a screw here that we haven't taken out, and that was on the other side. Okay, if you look on the inside of that there's a little screw that actually just protrudes through just a little bit. It's got like a little point on there. It has not a flat ended screw, it's a little pointed screw. Okay, that can stay in there, that screw. Alright, and on their tail that we've been looking at, if we just flip her over the other side, you'll see a little indentation there where that screw actually sits in. So when you go to put this together now, we can put that on. Okay, push that in, and we can just slide this backwards and forwards. Slide that backwards and forwards until you feel that little notch, and there it is. It's in there. Okay, it's in there, that's in there, and that's in there. So that little screw, oops, just popped out. That little screw there is in its little notch that I showed you there before, on that side there. Okay, so while you've got all this, obviously new bearings, yep. Put this side on here now, still hanging on to the other side. Now don't forget, you have to put your little roller in there. Okay, so we'll grab our little roller. Doesn't matter which way you put that in. Okay, so we can just slip that in like so. Okay, and there you have it, it's together. Alright, that's as easy as that. Now, before you go and put all the screws and everything in, just come up to the front, turn your pulley that way, okay, pull it towards you, and your tail should be turning that way. Okay, so what that actually does, it actually turns up and cuts up into the rotor wash, or your main blades. Alright, they don't go that way, they go this way. Alright, just make sure you remember that. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put all our screws back in. First of all, I'll put this screw in here. Okay, so that screw there that goes into this one here is actually a fine threaded screw. Okay, it's not a self tapper. So that's the fine threaded screw that it goes into. Okay, that screw's nearly in there. First one I've got in. You do not want to over tighten it. Okay, so you can bottom the screw out just so it touches. Just so it touches on that. Okay, when you tighten that screw up, you don't want those two half cases squashing up tight on that inner race, because that can actually stop that little roller from rolling. Okay, alright, we'll go along, we'll put the rest of the screws in here for now. Okay, just the other three. Just nip them up firm, so make sure that they're just nipped up. Okay, so what we'll do now, since all that's together, like so, don't worry about these two here just yet, that's fine. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll go up, we'll spin it in the rotation that it's supposed to go in, rechecking again that our tail is actually turning up, so it actually, the blades cut into the rotor wash of your main rotor blades. Okay, and while you're going, you're turning it, just make sure, just touch your finger on that just to make sure it's turning. Okay, you don't want the belt skidding on this pulley, otherwise you'll break it within the first flight and you'll have no tail control and that will be all messy. Okay, so just make sure that that is spinning. Okay, so that's all, it's all back together. Alright, so now you can go ahead and put your tail fin on if you like. Don't forget they're the two long screwed ones. Okay, so just slip that into its spot and screw these mighty long screws back into their position. Okay, last one back in there, so just make sure that they're just nipped up nice and firm, not too tight, because don't forget you're only screwing into plastic and you can strip the plastic. Don't want to do that. Now we'll just go back to our little pulley back one here again, which is a very important thing. So just rotate your finger on the other end here and just feel that pulley there just to make sure it's turning. Okay, or you can just visually see that it is. Alright, so you've got it all back together, looking pretty again. I've got my links hooked back up on the bottom. Okay, servo and everything's still in place, I haven't touched that, there's no need to. So what I'll do is I'll turn the boom around now. If we look at the front, okay, and you actually push the belt in, okay. The belt, when you're pushing it in, should go to about there. Okay, half, yeah, might be a little bit loose, but just get the edge of the belt and push it to about that spot. You just won't be able to see me do it from here. Okay, so just rest your screwdriver up against that or a non-sharp object and then just gently push the belt in. Okay, so mine comes into probably a little bit about there. Okay, which is good. Now if you actually wanted to tension your belt, that's if you've replaced the boom for some reason, as in a crash, and it's bent, so you have to replace the boom. So basically, I'll do it quickly. Take these screws out here, take that off again. Alright, now that boom, at the moment, I'll actually take all this apart again, just so you can see. I probably should have done a little earlier. Okay, just keep that where it was supposed to be. Okay, now this boom block will actually slip straight out of there. Okay, and that's your boom block for adjustment. Okay, we've pulled this section off, so just keep it like that so you don't get it back to front or upside down or anything along them lines. Now this is all self-aligning and everything like that. You'll find that when you pull it apart. So there's actually a little screw here. You can actually loosen that one off. It's on a clamp type setup. Okay, so what you'll have to do when you loosen that, just push this block a little bit forward. when I say a little bit, you probably just go a millimetre at a time, tighten that boom block back up, okay, and then the main block, put it back into position, okay, and that just slides straight in like so. Just push it in with your fingers into that block. Okay, now what that's actually done is actually pulled this whole unit out. Okay, so it'll put a little bit more tension on it. Okay, but don't forget to tighten that up there. Okay, otherwise your boom will slip straight out of its block, or come loose, or push back in and come loose. Okay, so we'll put our drive back in again. Just feed it up. Like I said, just to be sure not to twist that belt the wrong way. Okay, this back on. Okay, and 2 screws back in. Okay, last screw back in, and it's back together. Okay, so after you've adjusted your boom block inside, just recheck. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, so that's completed that. Okay, so basically we'll just slide that straight back into there, push it up till it hits up inside here. Okay, now while that's just sitting in there with no screws or anything screwed back on, turn it on the free one, that's against the motor, just the free one, the easy one, and you know that's the way the actual spins when you're flying. So I'm actually spinning that the easy way, and you can actually see that the tail is actually turning the right way. Like I said before, the blades are spinning up into the main rotor wash. Okay, and that's the way these work on the Walkeras. Okay, so those rear tail blades actually spin up. Okay guys, I've just come back and I've just assembled all the screws and everything back into these positions here. Okay, and I've put my boom stabilizers back on, both of them, both sides. Okay, so now it is time to feed all your wiring and everything back up through and into your receiver. Okay, and same with these ones. I'll neaten all that up and put it all back, and then that's pretty much it. Once you've done all that, you've actually successfully replaced your tail boom belt. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this tutorial helps, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.